1, 2, 3. Yeah, so it's another day in Melbourne, and we've got another protest. So yeah, I'm Trevor. Rasheed. I've created a new playlist for my YouTube, and it's called Weekly Catch Up Out and About with Trev. It's certainly interesting reading the names of the men who lost their lives on that tragic day in 1970. October 15th marks the anniversary of this tragic event. Yeah, well, this is another interesting part of Vic Uni. Hi, just while my channel is called Weekly Catch Up Out and About with Trev, I do actually have to spend some time in my office. Oh yeah? Okay. Okay, everybody! Yeah! Come in the middle! In the middle! Well, I'm normally a little bit out of place with my Cobra, but not like today. It's completely out of place. And we've already seen someone with a knife through their head. Not sure if there's Rick Grimes around that's going to shoot anyone, but we'll just see what happens. Maybe. But I mean, the local police aren't quite that trigger happy, so we'll see how it all goes. Well, I was going to say, here we go. Alright, so I'm here with the operations manager for the Melbourne Zombie Walk. This is Matt. And yeah, it's been you can walk forward. See some really interesting characters in Melbourne, and some of them had really tough days. Today's been a really cool day. We've been at the Melbourne Zombie Walk. It's the inaugural one, and they're going to come back next year, so it should be pretty cool. The batteries in my remote are going flat. There we go. We're going good. All right, so I'm down here at Fed Square, and we've just marched with a group of the Kurdish people who were protesting about some of the things that are going on back home. And I must admit, I don't know much about what's going on, so I've enlisted a couple of people here that we hope are experts. We've got Seval and Deniz. Nice to meet you. Yeah, thanks for having a chat. So I'm making my way to Bendigo Street once again. I received a text saying that there's a bit of a protest going on there. All right, so day 2, back to Bendigo Street. Alright, so I've just arrived here at Bendigo Street. Yeah, so we've had a fairly large number of police turn up, and it's a bit of they've pushed the media back, which is fair enough. And got a bit of conversation going on. Alright, so day 3, and I'm back here in Bendigo Street. Alright, so things are just getting wrapped up here again at Bendigo Street. Once again, I'm back here. Unfortunately, what's happened is There's a guy found dead in one of the houses this morning.
Good afternoon. Everybody ready?
Understand.
Good afternoon, everybody. Police were called at around 10:30 this morning when the body of a man was found at a house here in Bendigo Street in Collingwood. The ambulance and Victoria Police attended, at which time the man was pronounced deceased.
He's off. All right, Joel, thanks once again, man.
Good on you, Trev.
Yeah. So once again, we're down here at Bendigo Street, and today there's been a bit of activity. There's quite a bit of police presence in the street, and they're currently congregated over the front of number 13. Joel, you want to give us a bit of I'm a bit late getting here. You want to give us a bit of a rundown on what's happened here today, please, mate?
Yeah, it's odd because there's also about 4 Wilson security guards inside number 13, so I don't know what I need police here, but we had a gathering there today to sort of speak our truth about our frustrations, our concerns, yeah?
Yep.
This protest has been going for 6 months, so nearly 7 months.
Yep.
And this isn't a protest by the left, this is a protest by the left out, you know, people who have no housing.
Hey guys, and in regard to the events that have been happening down on Bendigo Street, this is where it ends up being played out in its most serious area. It's easy to look at what's been happening on the streets and say that's the most area where it's been battled, but it's actually being battled in here in the Supreme Court. Joel, I'll come in and have a chat. How are you, man?
Yeah, good. So what transpired inside was this imbalance of power where you've got a human right to due process, and it doesn't say whether you get that human right to due process if you're a barrister or a lawyer, or you can afford to pay for a barrister or a lawyer. By rights you should be able to step up there, speak your truth and represent yourself.
Yep.
And what happened to Simone, he was refused his right to due process.
Pretty bad.
Pretty bad. Just see if you don't mind, we'll just back up a little bit. Yeah. So what was the court? What was the outcome?
Well, the judge has decided that a piece of paper stating that the government owns something is more important than the contract that the government has towards the people.
Yeah.
And so the judge decided to kick us people out of their homes without any reason, without any actual project for the property they're gonna.
All right. I think it's working. We'll soon find out. So Joel, you've just come out of the Supreme Court and we've got some footage of that. Obviously things didn't quite go to plan, but
I think we were pretty prepared for the fact of what outcome would come. It's another example of state using its imbalance of power, its perceived imbalance of power to stifle the political voice of people experiencing homelessness and abrogate its responsibilities to people experiencing homelessness. We're using those properties for a legitimate purpose. We'll keep on using unused public assets for a legitimate purpose. What's the alternative to stay on the streets tonight and get stabbed, to get criminalised, to get raped? This isn't something that's a freeload, this is something that we do out of necessity for our human right to shelter.
And we're here out the front of Parliament House. There's a bit of a protest going on here about public housing, and we often hear about affordable housing and social inclusive housing. It's a buzzword that gets
culturally enriching.
And there certainly needs to be more of that, because we've got to have people that, not just about putting people in houses, they've got to be able to afford what they're getting.
So last year they built 60 new public housing properties, but we're at a site where they knocked down 60 public housing properties. So they didn't actually make any gain. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, so today I'm down at the zoo, Royal Melbourne Zoo, and it's a really interesting event. This one's also being run by the AAAF, which is the Australian Alopecia Areata Foundation, and this is their fun day down here at the zoo. Alright, so in the aviary enclosure at Melbourne Zoo, and Shea's just turned up. And Shea was featured in the doco that I produced with a classmate. And what do you got in your head today?
It's a honey eater, so they're actually extinct.
Oh,
Don't see any in here.
That's right, yeah, that's pretty sad. We don't need more things going extinct, and we need to do more to try and help the wildlife and animals and creatures. We all share the same planet, and we need to make sure that there's enough for everyone.
Yeah, that's right.
Absolutely. Wish the weather was a bit better, but
That's freezing.
it is not warm. All right. Thanks for that.
Typical Melbourne.
Cool. All right. Well, Jason, thanks very much for having a chat, man.
My pleasure, mate. Thank you, Trevor.
Tell you what, that was an absolutely stirring presentation you just did, and your personal story is just unbelievable. All right, Dan. Look, thanks very much for having a chat. I've got Dan Laws from the Victorian statewide, Indigenous statewide homeless network.
Yep.
Yeah. So we've just been having the event down at the Moama, what is it, the Riverside Resort?
Dongala Centre, yeah.
Yeah, the Dongala Centre. Yeah, that's really good, and it's been a great day.
Oh,
And-
well, I hope so. I mean, it's what it's about. I mean, not only do I, I would like people to actually take away something from the actual 2-day conference.
Yep. So there we go, that's spud and onion things. And quite a meal. I'm not sure what I'll do with the rest. I think these ones will just about fill me up, but that's it. So I have to just back up a little bit, Alan. All right, tonight just been to a community forum about affordable housing, which is an important issue, and I've got Alan Sandell from the Greens, and really appreciate you having a chat.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, it's great. Alrighty, so this week I'm actually celebrating a small milestone. It's actually my 10th episode of Weekly Catch Up out and about with Trev. It's been awesome to present some of the important issues over the last few weeks. Stuff like some of the rallies and protests, things like the housing issues, which is my most recent episode, but also some of the fun stuff. The zombie special was a bit of a fun day, and I hope to do more of that sort of thing, and already been in contact with management, and they're going to come back next year and run that, which will be awesome. And also during the last 10 weeks I've produced just over 4 hours of digital content, which is pretty impressive as well, I think. So, and I appreciate everyone that's come past and had a look at what's going on. There's certainly more stuff I'm going to present. I haven't run out of ideas or things to cover. Melbourne's a pretty vibrant and exciting place, and there's always something going on. But yeah, I just thought this week I'd just look back on some of the things I've covered and also wrap up some of the issues, especially in regard to the Bendigo Street protest. It's basically done and dusted. They end up losing their final Supreme Court case, and the police have moved in, changed the locks, and they're out. But that doesn't mean that protests about housing and the homeless issue is going to stop, because it's only going to get worse if we don't actually start dealing with these issues. Then more and more people will end up homeless, and we don't need that. In terms of my big project, my homeless documentary, I'm in post-production mode. This week I recorded some of the audio for that, which has been great, and a mate of mine, he's done an awesome job. And at this stage I'm hoping to do a launch sometime in February. I'm thinking sort of mid-February, I'm not sure yet. So that gives me something to work towards, and means I've got to pull my finger out and get it done. And I certainly look forward to presenting that and showing people, especially the investors and all the crew that worked on it, and the musicians that have allowed me to use their music. It's a collaborative effort. I can't do this stuff on my own, so I appreciate all the support I get from the guys and that want to be part of the crew and help me out, to certainly the musicians, but also members of the corporate world that poured in some of their hard-earned cash to to make that project a reality. And I just hope that I can deliver and produce something that's pretty impressive. Anyway, it's a nice balmy night here in Melbourne tonight. Tomorrow's going to be rainy, so you know, there's Melbourne's fickle weather for you. And I'm really not sure what exactly what's coming up over the next few weeks. We've got Christmas and what have you, New Year's. We've got the white night when Melbourne gets lit up. But there'll be all sorts of things to cover, and I hope to present them to you week after week as well. But yeah, I'd just like to say thanks to everyone that's come past. Numbers each week are improving. I'm getting more and more subscribers, and I really appreciate that. And just nice to know that people are dropping by and like what I'm putting together. Cheers, guys.